fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya and our friend Venom. Now, these two, they have gone through the UA entrance exam, during which Midoriya racked up a whole lot of points, along with hero points where he did save Ochako from the zero-pointer. However, with Himiko and Jiro both intervening trying to help whenever Jiro used her quirk, Venom freaked out Midoriya, and then bonded with Ochako before ripping and tearing apart the zero-pointer, in a small fit of rage. Now, with that being said, let us continue. We will pick up with Izuku, who, over the course of the week with his experience with Venom, did actually get a bit rattled. He notices that whenever he does sleep, he's having strange visions. And these visions themselves feel different, as he's running on a rooftop, before police corner him. That being where Midoriya is pulled awake, and he's somewhat panicking, before trying to understand what all of that was. Now, Midoriya would have certain dreams like this throughout the entire week. He doesn't think much of them, until he actually does have the 7th day, where his UA letter arrives in the mail. And he does learn that he racked up a total score of I would say 400 points. Now, 350 are villain points, and the 50 points he did get was from trying to save Ochako. Now, with that being said, All Might would congratulate Midoriya and his sentient quirk, as Midoriya and Venom do actually somewhat go on chatting. Venom asks Midoriya why he's not more excited about all this, to which he does explain that he's been having strange dreams. Now, Venom stays silent to this for a minute, before just going over the computer and telling Midoriya to type in this name, to which Midoriya does do so. Now, Midoriya would type in the name, I believe I said the man's name, who was the spider villain in part 1, was Peter Parker. Anyways, Midoriya would type the name of this man in, and it would be pulled up about his apparent death, a little around 10 years ago. Now, Midoriya is confused about this man, as Venom does go and explain that this man was his previous host. Midoriya looking straight at Venom, before just throwing himself onto his chair, as he does begin to start reading anything he can find, as Venom does just stay there looking at Midoriya, trying to explain that he's guessing in the jumbled up mess, they must have perma-bonded for 1 second, or a strange amalgamation of bonding and unbonding their DNA. Midoriya, kind of terrified at that, for 1 second, as he does turn to Venom and ask him when was he going to tell him about him doing this. This wasn't me. Listen, my previous host, he was insane. He was a murderer, and I had no choice. If I didn't bond with him right then and there, I would have died. right there on the street. Even then, I didn't know what he was. He went insane the moment I went into his head. Wow. Yes. Then again, he's gotten away with a lot worse than that. His childhood wasn't too good either. Oh, okay. But still, this is a pretty big secret to keep from me. Especially telling me a decade later? Hmm. This was not something I wanted to tell you. Especially with you knowing that you're using the abilities of his quirk. What? Yes, the super strength. And I believe the spidey sense, along with the organic webbing. Parts of his quirk I've taken. Venom. How long were you bonded with this man? Hmm. Let me see. For about a couple hours. Oh, damn. So, when he was gunned down on the rooftop, that was here, wasn't it? Yes. Ask your mother more about the case. I think she saw the man get carried out. Don't you remember? No. I don't think any kid remembers this. Now, with that being said, we will then actually cut to the first day, where Midoriya, he's still a bit rattled by Venom's reveal about these strange glimpses of the past. Now, with that being said, we do have the first day whenever Midoriya does walk in. Him walking in and looking around the classroom. As everyone immediately turn to look at him. As Bakugo looks straight at Midoriya and says, Deku. Going to stand up and say that he shouldn't even be here. How? Class 1B or General Studies is that way. A few people actually looking over at him. Before Ida does run up and try to apologize, along with getting a bit more info about Midoriya's quirk, along with actually wanting an apology of his own, since Midoriya threw him out of the way. Now, Midoriya does just bring his hand up and tell the Four Eyes to shut up. Excuse me? Dude, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. You're being too loud, you're interrupting everybody in the other classes, and you're asking for an apology. You're trying to apologize to me because you inconvenienced me last week. And then you're trying to get me to apologize to you because you were in my way during the entrance exam. You were too focused on being a fucking white knight. So how about you just get out of everyone's way and shut up? Now, a few people in class actually do laugh at that, as Venom does pop out of Midoriya's shoulder, saying that was pretty blunt, don't you think? Now, this is whenever Tokoyami, he actually does jump up, asking Midoriya if that's a sentient quirk. Yeah. Why? Dark Shadow appearing out of Tokoyami's arm. And going on to state that, wow, it's quite nice to meet another quirk. Now, Midoriya does just look at Tokoyami confused. As Class 1A, they're just staring at this interaction. As Venom and Tokoyami are talking. Or Dark Shadow. Now, Himiko and Jiro's already in the classroom. Himiko does come running up from behind Midoriya. She went down the wrong hallway and got confused whenever she tried coming into UA. Ochako comes running up the other hallway. Her actually saying hi and asking if he can move. Midoriya turning and looking at her as he does know who she is. Saying, oh, hello, and saying her name. Ochako, right? Midoriya getting out of the way and stepping into class. Ochako saying, yeah, her name is... What the heck is going on? Trust me, I don't even know. This is new. Himiko saying, hey Zuko, as she just walk in. Her bumping into Ochako, and then just saying, hey, before looking to see this conversation these two quirks are having. Now, Aizawa actually does jump up and see what all the commotion is early in the morning, turning his head and looking at these two quirks, as he just tells them to stop doing that, please. That's weird. You're telling me. Tokuyama would go on saying, talking about how he's never seen someone else with a sentient quirk. He's heard about it, but knowing that someone else is like him? It's strange. Now, Aizawa goes on explaining, they aren't going to be going to the assembly this morning, and how they are all going to be participating in a quirk apprehension test. Now, this would be whenever everyone who is staying there, they do actually been talking to each other. Ida actually trying to go against what Mr. Aizawa is saying. As soon as Ida goes to open his mouth, this is whenever a black spiderweb does cover it. Ida does just look down, a bit confused, before trying to open his mouth once again. Not being able to talk, actually bringing up his hands and trying to pull it off. Mr. Aizawa saying, thanks. Anyways, as everyone does continue to listen, Bakugo actually trying to hold back a laugh. Now, with that, Midoriya, he actually does wait for Mr. Aizawa to finish, and Ida just point at his mouth. As Midoriya just tells him to simply, hold on. Bring his hand up and ripping off the spiderweb. As it just forms back into Venom. Ida just saying that was very rude. Whatever. Him then walking away. As Bakugo walks by, telling Four Eyes to try and keep up. Now, this would be whenever everyone's in the locker room, changing. Ida still pissed about what happened. And then, there actually is the incident with Mineta, where he actually does go to try and peek through the hole. Now, as soon as this is going on, we actually have Midori who does walk up behind him, and ask Mineta if he's really going to do that. Hey, how about this? You let this slide. Besides, I think that you would like to see what's on the other side too, wouldn't you? God, you're pathetic. Midoriya just picking him up, and just throwing him over his shoulder. As he actually does, take a piece of Venom and flip it onto the wall, covering the hole, as we do have on the other side, where Himiko is talking about how Midoriya was this giant buff dude. And Ochako's even confirming about what happened in their area. Oh, come on. You seriously don't expect us to believe that, do you? This guy's super strong, super buff. And what do you say? A washboard? Yeah. No, I mean, like, seriously, you need to look at him. Like, he's a 6'2", like, mammoth. I don't believe you. I mean, I don't expect you to. It's just, like, he was built like a statue. Now, with that out of the way, let's cut to outside, where Mr. Aizawa, he actually just tossed the ball to Midoriya, who does catch it. Him asking Midoriya how far he can throw, without using his quirk. Midoriya saying that he doesn't really know. Last time he threw a ball, he never found it. To which he does just ask Midoriya to step up and throw it. Now, Midoriya, he actually does say okay, as he goes to cock back his arm as hard as he can, and then he does actually stomp his leg out forwards, as he throws the ball hard. Now, without Venom helping, I want to say he does at least get the ball to be about past 1500 meters. Now, the reasoning is because of Midoriya's new genetic makeup. He has the genetics of certain animals, and even All Might's DNA along with multiple other pro heroes. So, you could say that Midoriya himself is a bit of a mutant. Now, Mr. Aizawa is quite shocked by this. 1500 meters. Can't even pros a certain quirks can't through that far. Try again. But I didn't use my quirk. That's skeptical. Now, go again. Midoriya, going again. As Mr. Aizawa does try and use his quirk. 1500 meters. In fact, a little bit farther. And there's whenever Midoriya does cover himself in Venom. And he actually does cock back the ball and go to throw it. As soon as he actually does throw the ball as hard as he can, a shockwave is formed. And everyone is blasted away. As people like Mineta, or the lighter people in the classroom, are flung backwards. Along with Midoriya shattering multiple windows to UA. Now, with that, Aizawa does actually get up off the ground, looking around for his phone, and going over to pick it up. As he picks it up, and does look down at his phone. That can't be right. What is it, Mr. Aizawa? Well, my phone's saying infinite. But the only way you could do that is if you... Wait. Him actually trying to reset his phone. And sure enough, after a minute, it goes back to a regular thing. And it just says a absurd 5-digit number. Midoriya threw the ball up into the highest part of the atmosphere, before it did subsequently re-enter and the ball burned up. Now, with that being said, everyone else does go. Now, just to give a brief explanation, think of it like this. You're basically dealing with Saitama doing the hero test. He breaks every single record that UA has had set by at least half, or triple. There's the race against Ida. Ida, he's actually going to use his reciprocal burst to try and prove that he's faster than Midoriya. As soon as it's begin, Midoriya already stepped off and was across the finish line, before Ida can even blink an eye. And Bakugo was angry. And there actually is the grip strength test, where Midoriya, he actually does just grab the grip strength thing and push down on it. Now, Aizawa does look at Midoriya's, thing, and it shows that it's maxing out. As he does ask Midoriya if he's even going at full strength. Huh? Oh no, I can just... Midoriya pulling down a little bit more as the thing just breaks on him. Now, basically, everyone finds out exactly how fucking ridiculous Midoriya is. And we actually have people like Shoto Todoroki and Bakugo Katsuki. Bakugo has never realized that Midoriya is always holding back against him. Midoriya is basically in a world of glass. That's what Bakugo realizes. And Todoroki, he's seeing Midoriya. This guy's stronger than All Might. In fact, this is insane. He's already broken every one of All Might's set records. And then there's, the way he is. 6'2", made of muscle. This is strange. What pro hero is like this? Midoriya's got to be the son of one, right? Or no? That's strange. I'll have to figure this all out, or ask him about this later. Now, with that being said, we actually have the end of the day, or at lunchtime, where everyone is asking Midoriya more and more questions, along with multiple people from Class 1B trying to actually ask about everything. Now, Midoriya does talk with some people, and he does try and explain his peculiar quirk. Now, with that being said, this is whenever we actually have All Might, who does go to ask Midoriya as he does walk by in the cafeteria if he would be able to talk with him for a second. Now, Everyone is freaking out at seeing the number one hero. However, Midoriya, he does just stand up from the table where Himiko and Jiro are sitting, along with Tokoyami, to go and leave. Now, Todoroki actually does look over to where Midoriya was, before looking around and seeing All Might and him walking, as their physique looks quite similar. All Might is just a lot taller than Midoriya, and a lot physically stronger. And it does click in his head. Something's going on with those two. He doesn't know what. But clearly, it's got something to do with Midoriya and him. No, that couldn't be right. Does he have a dad? Does he have a mom? I'm gonna have to try and ask these questions to him. Now, All Might, he does just try and ask Midoriya a question. About One for All. Is he going to accept his quirk? Or should he try and find another successor? Oh, All Might. About that. Well, I think I know who could be your successor. Really? And who might you think? Well, Bakugo's a bit hot-headed, so I wouldn't say him exactly. I would say you should wait for him to cool down, but that's probably gonna not be for another month. Ah, I see. Well, is there anyone in Class 1 who you believe would be the best choice? Um, well, I don't know. I haven't really known everyone for a long time. The only two who I really do know, other than Bakugo's, well, Himiko and Jiro. Okay. Well, please keep an eye out. I don't think those two would be physically strong enough, however, to inherit my quirk. Alright, All Might. I'll keep an eye out. In fact, I think that there's somebody who might be a good candidate, but I don't know. I'll have to talk with him. Good. Now, enjoy the rest of your day, young Midoriya. And goodbye, Venom. Bye, All Might. All Might, then leaving. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.